2020, August 15th, 8:34 a.m. New paragraph. Then you have, it's ships. Then you have them working with the Enterprise. And the Enterprise would be the sequence from Herculopolis, from Herculopolis, and of course and the Noah situation, because Noah built ships, and his ships eventually became the Heliopolis, and Heliopolis would be metaphorically the Enterprise 1701-A, 1701 period. And then Heliopolis is copied and made a copy of, and that becomes Herculopolis. And then another copy is Memphis. Well, Lutz at the time, which we already discussed, the whole Lutz situation. Lutz became Memphis, and Tyre and Carthage, and of course there's a dozen cities in the mouth of the Nile itself that were built on pillars, not just Alexandria, but dozens of others. And then you have Alba Longa, and the city that was to the east of where the Forum is now, which is where the Colosseum is in the present. There's also another city of pillars where the Pantheon is now. Where the Pantheon is now, there was a city of pillars there, but it was much, much profoundly larger by several city blocks. It was sitting in the middle of a marsh / river / tributary / a wetland from the Tigris. That's a bit of a difficult thing to calculate, because there's land or fill dirt south of that, but that area had a lake there, lake or marsh, tributary, wetland, what have you, and they built a city of pillars there at some point before Romulus and Remus were anything other than nothing, before their grandparents were anything other than nothing, period. So you have a great deal of city of pillars going on, and then you have a change, a sea change, and then you have Claudius build those buildings, and you have Claudius build those buildings, and Claudius, by all accounts, was a very nice, very gentle, very even-tempered, very cool, very no big deal, everything's cool individual, period. New paragraph. Now, something of profound importance right here. Breitbart News and some of the other fictional conservative talking head news media sources, they don't qualify as news. They qualify as media sources. They qualify as entertainment venues with some political bent on them, because they're propaganda machines. Some of them, for several years now, have been deciding that Michelle Obama is a transvestite, or something to that effect. Period. It has no foundation in reality, but that's not the point. The point is it's a smear campaign. So they've called her gay. They've called her every name in the book, including hate crime names. There's nothing nice about some of the names that they've called her. Well, this applies to the wife of Emperor Claudius. Just because the senators wrote the history, and they hated Claudius as much as they hated Caligula, and they hated Caligula equal to how much they hated Jesus, because he was a threat to their power base. This brings up the idea that Claudius was another name, was another of Jesus's pharaoh names.